Down. Join us, everybody. This is the first Sunday of December. Come and find your seats. I'm going to give another great bang here to see if we can get people in from the lobby. We are beginning. Good morning and welcome. Please come and have a seat. Hi, I'm Reverend Mary Murray Shelton. I'm happy to welcome you to the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. I'm the community spiritual leader here. And we are all awash in decorations, and there's an art show going on, and we're also having our Christmas holiday crafts event going on. So there's all sorts of stuff happening in here this morning, and I am delighted to welcome you. We are a place that believes in the qualities and the values of integrity, love, community, and spiritual growth. Those are things that we focus on throughout everything that we do. So whoever you are, wherever you may be on your pathway of faith, in the room or online, you're welcome here. And as we begin this morning, what I'd like to invite you to do is to say hi to each other. No shopping right now, but stand up, greet people, introduce yourselves, welcome anybody back you haven't seen in a while, and just schmooze a little bit. And for those of you online, you are most welcome. Get yourself another cup of coffee. Come and settle in for an absolutely lovely morning. We're so glad that you're here with us, and we'll begin in just a moment. All right. Come on back to your seats. Settle yourselves in for just a lovely morning this morning. And as we begin, I'll set this down. Our musician this morning on the screen is Gary Lynn Floyd, who is one of our just most favorite, most wonderful ones for this kind of thing in communicating with us, even though he can't be physically here. So Gary is the artist in residence at the Reno Center for Spiritual Living in Nevada. He won a 2020 Posse Music Award for his song Love Always Finds a Way. And that was co-written with Amy Bishop and our own Karen Drucker. His CDs are all available, some of them on Amazon or, Apple, iTunes, or on his website, certainly. You can get all of them and find out more about Gary. So go and take a look at GaryLynnFloyd.com, and you can find out more about him. But this morning, we're going to be singing I Am a Light, which was written by Donna Michael, but it's a song we've sung many times, and Gary is doing it for us this morning. So please stand and join us in this opening song, I Am a Light.
Good morning, Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. Gary Lynn Floyd with you again this morning. Happy holidays. You see that I'm decorated for Christmas. Christmas has kind of exploded in my shed. Sing this with me. I know you'll know it. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. I am a light. I am a light, I am a light in this world, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. Look at somebody and say, you are a light, you are a light, you are a light. You are a light in this world. You are a light. You are a light. You are a light in this world. And you shine. And you shine. And you shine so bright. And you shine. And you shine. And you shine so bright. I am a light again. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. One more time. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. Beautiful.
Give yourselves a hand, and you may be seated. I want to invite you now to go ahead and check your cell phone. Make sure that your cell phone is silenced. It doesn't have to be turned off, but set it up so that if it needs to get your attention, it will only get your attention. And that way the rest of us can stay focused on what's going on until you're finished. And I'm going to invite Reverend Judith Fleener up now, who is going to do our opening prayer.
There is one light. This light is the source of all light. It is the source of the twinkling Christmas lights. It is the source of the sun breaking through the clouds. It is seen in the shining through of a smile of a friend, the laughter of a child, the twinkling eyes of a loving pet or partner. It is all one light with one source. I am connected to this light, and the light that shines through my voice and my actions is the light of God. And so in this knowing that this is true for me, it is true for each and every person in the sound of my voice. The light that shines through you is the light of love, the light of God. And as we are in this time of the Advent season, Advent means anticipation of something new. As we move towards the darkest time of the year, anticipating solstice and the return of the light, we remember that the light was never gone, that it is out of the darkness and out of the anticipation that light shines brightly. And so for anyone who is going through one of those dark periods in life, whether it be a need for healing of the physical body or the emotional body, or the need for some better communication and relationships, to remember that the light is not diminished and that it is out of the darkness that the light returns. And so I claim a shift in consciousness, allowing each person who has a need to return to the lightness, that the recognition that the light is there within be prevalent in their thoughts. And for this day together, where there is so much light and joy and excitement of the crafts fair, that we remember that in that joy is the time to be together and shine that light through the twinkling of your own eyes and allow the twinkling of the light from a smile, from a warm cup of tea, from the words of Reverend Mary, from the Zoom link on your computer, to shine through as the brightness of the one light that is in and through all things. And so in this place, I just give my thanks for this time together, for the healing that is needed, that is occurring in this moment, and for the anticipation of the return of light in each evening and every morning. And so it is.
And so it is.
I wouldn't be surprised if peace broke out all over. I wouldn't be surprised if I found a four-leaf clover, 'cause miracles abound. They happen all around me every day. I wouldn't be surprised if we put an end to hunger. I wouldn't be surprised if we just kept getting younger, 'cause miracles abound. They happen all around me every day. And life keeps blessing me with so much good. I wouldn't change it even if I could. Blessing me in every way. And if it all turns out okay, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised if I found out every answer. I won't be surprised when we find a cure for cancer, 'cause miracles abound. They happen all around me every day. And life keeps blessing me with so much good. I wouldn't change it even if I could. Blessing me in every way. And if it all turns out okay, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And life keeps blessing me with so much good. I wouldn't change it even if I could. Blessing me in every way. And if it all turns out okay, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Life keeps blessing me with so much good. I wouldn't change it even if I could. Blessing me in every way. And if it all turns out okay, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Ah, yes, thank you, Gary Lynn Floyd. So we're coming into the very last month of living from the heart of wonder. Not that we're going to stop doing it, just that it won't be the theme for next year. So I just want to bring that up one more time. And now that we come into December, we have a new theme for this month, which is bring forth a being of light. Bring forth a being of light. Now today is the second Sunday of Advent. And I said that last Sunday was the Sunday of hope. So looking forward, awaiting optimistically with expectancy and hopefulness. And the second Sunday is the Sunday of peace. So I'm going to light the candle from the week of hope, and also light the candle for today as the candle of peace. When we come into this Advent season, this week in Advent becomes an annual reminder to us to anchor in peace for ourselves, but also for the world. There was something I was reading last night, I believe it was from Nikola Tesla, and he said something about because everything is connected on earth, throughout the universe, every person, everything, because it's all connected, one thought could change everything. Think about how much responsibility and opportunity and power that gives to us. And of course, the more of us that join in together with a particular thought or a particular idea or a way of viewing things, the larger the influence becomes. So right now, when there's a lot of divisiveness and confusion and conflict and even violence that's going on in various places in the planet, if we get lost in those, then we contribute to that and we anchor that in place. When we turn our attention to the things that are beautiful, that make us happy, that we appreciate, that we're thankful for, and we anchor in that, we invite our world to come in that direction. And because we do that intentionally, the thought, for me anyway, I believe, is stronger, has a stronger influence because it comes from the discipline of doing that. So when you're tempted to be concerned and immersed in the upset of the day, or you feel guilty because you forgot to be upset about it for a while, rather recognize that that guilt is the old stuff trying to re-emphasize itself. And what you want instead is to turn to the light. Turn to the light, even where it's least apparent, so that your very attention on it can help to draw it forward. Does this make sense, what I'm saying? So this is part of the Advent season, to anchor that peace inside ourselves and therefore bring it more deeply into the world. The theme for this morning is the elusive quality of light. So for those of us that have been working on the process of spiritual growth and expansion and deepening and all of that, you find that you can't hang on to it every moment. You know, as Ram Dass said once, you can't stand on tiptoe all the time. So what happens is that we feel sometimes disappointed in ourselves when we lose track of our own inner light, or we don't like the way that we're thinking about or responding to somebody else or something else, or we're getting overly upset about something that's not that big a deal. This is, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. So the elusive quality of light is not something that only happens that way. You know, although we have the ability to turn on and off electric lights and all of that, we way back when there was only the sun and the moon, people already understood the mystery of the light. And as they discovered fire, they began to use it not just for warmth or cooking, but also for light, and bring torches into the house. And then they began to use oil and wicks or wax. They made into candles with wicks. And then they got into other kinds of lanterns and lamps, and eventually we have electricity. But the truth is, we don't really know why that works. Somebody might. Maybe Thomas Edison figured that out. But the truth is, it's still a mystery. And in the natural scheme of things, light is always disappearing and then coming back. We can't hang on to it. If you have a candle, eventually it's going to burn out. Even if you leave your electricity on all the time, eventually you won't be able to afford it. So light of itself is not a thing that is static. It's always moving and changing. There's a certain quality of elusiveness to it. And so we want to ask ourselves then, well, what is light? You know, when we see light, it allows us to see detail, to see color, to see more contrasts and specifics. When we're in the darkness, that changes. Colors get muted, things are less distinct. We can't make things out as clearly as we could in the light. So for me, I might say from that perspective that light is awareness. Light is the ability to see, to perceive, to become aware. And it also serves to make us aware of everything that's around us when we see it. So we also have to ask ourselves then, well, what is darkness? Now, sometimes we say darkness is just the absence of light, right? That's one way to put it. We can also say that darkness is what initiates us into mystery. That everything that we see in the light, that we think we know, we understand, we have it figured out, when it's in the dark, somehow that's all different. It changes it. We begin to see that we don't know everything about everything. We can't see it, we can't predict it, we don't really know. So we have mystery. I was just moments ago thinking about why is it that we as people, as human beings, have a shadow side? What's the benefit of having a shadow side? Because, you know, if you look at psychological tests, we're always trying to figure out how to become aware of the shadow side so it doesn't have so much influence that we can't influence it or control it. And I think that there's really a blessing purpose to that whole shadow side, because if none of us had a shadow, if we all understood everything, we knew everything, we would be so dull, because there would be nobody who could say anything interesting to you that you didn't already know all about. There would be nobody who could reflect back to you that, hey, that wasn't very nice, or that hurt my feelings, so that we could grow, so that our souls actually had the opportunity to become. It makes our beingness so much more fun and interesting if there's something to learn, something to grow into, something to discover and improve or to explore. So the shadow side of us actually serves a purpose in introducing us to the side of us that is in mystery and allowing us to stretch and to discover and to explore and to learn about ourselves and each other and the world. So as we do that, we can appreciate the magic and the mystery of the darkness as much as we appreciate what we're aware of or what we know and can be confident in the light. Arlo Guthrie said, you can't have a light without a dark to stick it in. You can't have a light without a dark to stick it in. Now that makes a lot of sense to me, because otherwise we wouldn't know it was light. It would just be. We would never have experienced darkness. We wouldn't know it was light. It wouldn't have a contrasting side. It would just be. It probably wouldn't even have a name. Ursula Le Guin, who writes science fiction fantasy books, says, to light a candle is to cast a shadow. In other words, when anything light comes into the world, also as the light reflects off of that, there's a shadow. And the shadow is a reflection of what's appearing in the light. It isn't the same thing, but it's a mirror of it somehow. And John Gay said, shadow owes its birth to light. And just as we saw in the image that was on the screen a second ago with the Tao, the yin-yang from the Taoist religion symbol, what we recognize is that one rests on the back of the other, and the other one's job is to hold it up, and each of them contains a part of the other. They are necessary to each other to exist. So when we aspire to grow or to be beings of light with spiritual awareness, that's the journey. And the journey is maybe the most important part of why we are here in this form as human beings right now, so that we can be on the road discovering, exploring, playing, and expanding into that larger self. And the shadow actually serves its purpose in helping us do that. Because the shadow is what sometimes embarrasses us or pulls us up short or allows us to recognize, ooh, that was bad. I screwed that up. Oh, how embarrassing. I hope nobody noticed. Of course they do. Some are too polite to tell you, others can't wait. But either way, in the embarrassment, in the learning, in the ego dampening, we begin to become more aware. There's something larger that we can become aware of. And so it is a gift to us to see that. When we are in a place that is dark, our attention is drawn to the light, if there's light there. So when I look at this image, I notice the red, but then I gravitate toward looking at the light, and then I look around at some things, and then I go back to the light. There is something about light that attracts us. We have an awareness, an ancient awareness, that it has power. It is the power of life. We require that warmth, that ability to prepare food, that illumination. We require that in order to learn and grow. So much so that when somebody has an idea, in our country at least, we see a light bulb over their head in cartoons. That light of their new idea communicates to all of us that something has been turned on in that person. They are now catching on to something that they didn't know before. And also the ancient people watched very carefully the changes in the light, the changes of seasons, the changes of temperature. They noticed how the plants and animals responded to those things. They noticed how necessary those were for life and for light. And so they celebrated the transitions, the solstices, the equinoxes, the cross-quarter holidays in the pagan year. They paid very close attention to those. They built structures that would capitalize on that. So in the winter solstice, if you happen to be in England at, what's the name of it? Newgrange. If you are one of the lucky ones who gets in on the lottery to be there the morning of the winter solstice, when the sun rises, if it's a clear day, which in England is meh, or Ireland, when the sun rises, if there are any rays at all, they come in through this little portal and they illuminate this space. Stonehenge is set up to pay attention to the sun and its movements at different times of the year. The celebration of the solstices and the equinoxes was very important in the recognition of what was about to come, what was it the season for, what was about to diminish or fall back. And so our attention is drawn toward the light, not only to notice it, but to mark how it's different from the day before and what's coming, what's next. Rabindranath Tagore, who is was the poet laureate of India, said once, "Faith is the bird that feels the light when the dawn is still dark." Faith is the light, or the bird, that feels the light when the dawn is still dark. And Patrick Overton, who is a Disciples of Christ minister, wrote, "When you walk to the edge of all the light you have and take that first step into the darkness of the unknown, you must believe that one of two things will happen. Either there will be something solid for you to stand upon, or you will be taught to fly." When you come to the end of all the light that you have, we all come to those places in our lives where we come to the end of all the light we have, and we have to decide if we're going to spend the rest of our lives in that little bit of light right there and never move again, or if we're willing to step out of our comfort zone into the unknown, where the only light we can carry with us is what we are. And yet it seems that souls find that journey irresistible. We want to know what's in the mystery, what's on the other side of the darkness. Anybody in here ever read murder mysteries? Just me? Murder mysteries, either on your tablet or actual physical murder mysteries, right? Now, do you ever read a murder mystery where they never figure out what happened? And how satisfying was that? No, it's not satisfying because we want the answer. We spend all this time reading to get the answer, right? And that's why we watch games, and that's why we play games, because we don't know what's going to happen, but we want to know what's going to happen. And we want to know not only the end result, but we want to know how it happens. That's part of the joy and deliciousness of the unfolding of it. Many television series have been based on some kind of mystery. Anybody here ever watched The X-Files in the olden days when it used to be on television? The truth is out there. I'm not sure we ever found it, but the truth is out there, you know. So we tune in week after week because the truth was out there somewhere and we wanted to know what it was, right? So that's part of the thing that happens with our attention going toward the light. But even as it does, and even as it draws us onward, it's going to fade at times, or we're going to lose track of it, or we'll get distracted by something else. You know, I don't know how many of you have ever seen somebody else's aura, just the energy field that's around them. That's really what the artists were painting in the Renaissance when you see the halo around the person's head. Well, it's not just around their head, it's around their whole body. It's the energy field. And sometimes people see it as colors, but you can also see it as just a kind of a silvery golden white. However, for the most part, we don't look around and see that on people all the time. There may be a moment when you see it, or an event where you're noticing it. The more you put your attention on that, the more it kind of disappears. You have to not look at it directly, but look at the person and allow the light. And then your awareness of the light, as you look at the person, can get even brighter. You might see auras around other things, not just people. It doesn't have to always be people. It might be an animal. It might be something else. But it's not something that we tend to see at every moment all the time. It's elusive. This is the elusive quality of light. It draws us into its amazement, into the wonder of it, and then it leaves us there for a while. And then when it goes completely and we're in the darkness, we get to wrestle with the mystery, which makes us so desirous of more light that we look more deeply into the mystery itself. And that's how we begin to discover the real juice, the real stuff that's important. So seeking the light, it seems that we have to seek it in order to find that fulfillment, that as we move toward the light, it becomes more and more irresistible. We want more of it. We want to go more deeply into it. We want to see all the colors that are involved in it. We want to feel it and experience it. And as we do that, and as we surrender to light, and as we grow with the mystery so that the light becomes stronger, we feel more aligned with the heart of the universe, which is everywhere all the time, and sometimes seems to be nowhere at all. But it's always there. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, put it this way. He said, "Let us, therefore, light the candle of love, human kindness, forgiveness, and understanding in our own soul, and let it shine brightly. Let us not peer into the darkness, troubled and concerned, because it is so foreboding and unknown. Rather, let us remain steadfast in the radiance of that spiritual light of truth within ourselves. Let us stand guard so that the winds of malice, cross purposes, ignorance, or misunderstanding will not blow out the light. Let us so live each day that the light from our candle of spiritual knowledge will forever be clear and understood, not only by ourselves, but by all with whom we come in contact." Now, I kind of think that that's the truth of who we are, really. But our souls are still discovering that. We have this eternal journey to go on, to gather bits and pieces of it before we all jump into the infinite together, and then recreate the universe all over again in some new form or fashion. That's my imagination about what happens. God breathes out, and all of us and all of this shows up. God breathes in, and we all come back ollie ollie oxen free. God breathes out again, and a whole new thing evolves into being. And so it goes. Maybe. Nikola Tesla said, "A new world must be born. A world that would justify the sacrifices offered by humanity. This new world must be a world in which there shall be no exploitation of the weak by the strong, of the good by the evil, where there will be no humiliation of the poor by the violence of the rich, where the products of intellect, science, and art will serve society for the betterment and beautification of life." And isn't that what every human soul wants, really, as we look ahead? Even if we're looking from the standpoint of those who seem to be seeing through a glass more darkly than others, ultimately what they want, no matter what they think they want, I believe, ultimately what they want is to feel peaceful and fulfilled. They think this is the way they're going to feel peaceful and fulfilled. But even if they were to get there, they would discover they weren't there yet. Do you know what I mean? That's not it. Our founder of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, Reverend Dr. Lloyd Tupper, used to say he loved to do practitioner work for wealthy people because they understood that having more money wasn't going to make them happy. The money wasn't the key. But people who didn't have it didn't know that yet a lot of times. So he liked working with them because he could go more to the heart of things because that was not one of the issues that was in the way. He knows that abundance is the truth. And as we operate in our lives with less abundance than we would like sometimes, that too is a part of the soul journey that we're on. It doesn't have to be a horrible thing. But we need to trust in the abundance, to surrender into the abundance that we're being led into. Maybe what we need is an abundance of trust in the universe. And so this particular lack draws our attention to the recognition that we need a greater trust in the universe in order to experience the more that we want to bring into our lives. In the Gospel of John, the very first chapter of the Gospel of John, Verse 5 says, now this is the way that I learned it as a kid. The light shone in the darkness, and the darkness grasped it not. In other words, the darkness couldn't put out the light. Like you can't flip on a darkness switch, and all the light disappears. But the New International Version translation says, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. So not only does darkness not quite get it when we're thinking about the darker aspects of our shadow personalities, maybe, but not only does it not get it, but it also can't overcome it. So when we look at the world and we feel discouraged or worried about the challenges that we see, and we get all of that in spades with the news, because, as I often like to repeat, bad news sells soap, among other products. And so if you have a product you want to sell, you want people to be watching the show. If there's a mystery to be solved, if there's a tragedy, you know how we say can't look away from a train wreck? If there's a tragedy, it's going to draw people's attention. They'll be watching. Then when the commercial comes on, there you are. Ta-da! Whereas if you say, no children fell out of a window today. Isn't that great news? Let's celebrate that. Click, change the channel. Boring. The good news we want to take for granted. That's just how we think it should be. But the bad news upsets us. It gets us stirred up. It fascinates us. Does this make sense? So what we want is to have those moments where we wake up for a second and realize, I'm distracted. I'm buying into this. I'm buying into this awfulness. And yes, there's awfulness in the world, but the degree to which it is emphasized around us makes it seem like That's all there is in the world sometimes. Yes? Because there is at least that much good stuff going on in the world, but nobody's telling you about it. It's hidden. It's happening in little pockets, little groups, little individuals, all over. Look for the good news. It is out there, actually. So I want to take a moment to align us within in the heart of the universe. So turn within with me now. And we bring our attention right into our hearts. Breathe as if you were breathing through your heart. And imagine that each time you exhale, you're breathing a little light into the world. And this light is very resilient. It is the essence of love. So every time you exhale, you're not emptying yourself out because it keeps refilling you right there. But each time you breathe out, you're exhaling more light into the world. Each time you breathe in, you're infilling the light. And as we build that light within us, it gives us something to sustain us when we find ourselves in the mystery that is dark or darkness. There is only one life, one presence, one beingness, one awareness. We are all using it. We are all manifestations of it. It is the one, the mystery, the great spirit, God, whatever you call it, any avatar, the great beingness, the infinite intelligence. It's right where you're sitting. Not just a little bit of it, but all of it. It's in the art and the crafts and the gifts that are here for us to shop with today. It's in the art displays. It's in the decorations. It's in the chairs. It's in us. And the fullness of it is everywhere we look. And so in this remembering, we are remembering, we are bringing all the members of ourself back home into the one. And breathing in that light, knowing that everyone around us is also exhaling light into this space to illuminate the souls of every one of us. And we breathe it in, and then we recycle and breathe more out so that we're extending more and more light into the world. Extend light now to every politician in the world. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Breathe in, extend light out to every politician in the world. Breathe in the increased light in the world and send it out to every country in the world, to every global or religious leader in the world, from those that have millions following them to those that have just one, to every creature, to the Mother Earth herself, until our individualization lends its music to the universe, the one song, the unified song of creation. With great gratitude, we take in this light, knowing that light is also being born within us now. And we send that out to every corner of the universe with gratitude and generosity, knowing that it rushes into us every time we breathe in. We're so grateful to contribute in this way and to know this truth. So we anchor it with the peace of light and love, and we let it be. And so it is. Please stand and join me in the morning affirmation. I seek out people, places, and things that lift me up when times feel dark. I seek the light in others to remind me of the light within. I aim to let myself glow with light so others can be reminded too. And so it is. Thank you. You may be seated. Oh, I never told you my joke for this morning. I got to do that because I really love this joke. So, one night at sea, ship's captain looked out and he saw what looked like the lights of another ship heading toward him. So he had his signalman signal the other ship, change your course 10 degrees south. And the answer came back, change your course 10 degrees north. The ship's captain answered, I am a captain. Change your course 10 degrees south. The reply was, I'm a seaman first class. Change your course 10 degrees north. You might imagine the captain was not pleased. So he said, damn it, change your course south, seaman. I'm a battleship. And the reply came back, change your course north. I'm a lighthouse. Sometimes we want to move the light around to have it be the way we think it ought to be. Sometimes that's not up to us. All right. So this is our sacred giving time. If you'd like to text to give, please feel free to use the number on the screen to do that. And if you are here for the very first time this morning, your presence here with us is your gift. And we are grateful for that. I'll tell you more about welcoming newcomers in just a little bit, but I'm going to invite the ushers up as we prepare to receive the morning offering. We always bless everything we send out into the world. And we also today are, as Golden Gate, receiving it with blessing as well. So if you're giving today, hold your gift near your heart, or if you're giving it with a loved one, in your hands. If you've already given automatically, through your bank or your credit card or whatever, just put your hands over your heart and join me as we say this. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is.
Life is in me, moving through me, beyond question, steady and strong. Power and presence is my essence, been within me all along. What is there to be afraid of? Yeah. Pure light is what we are made of. Life is in you. Can you feel it? Look inside you, look around. Power and presence is your essence. Where you stand is holy ground. What is there to be afraid of? Yeah. Pure light is what we are made of. What is there to be afraid of? Yeah. Pure light is what we are made of. Life is in me, moving through me, beyond question, steady and strong. Power and presence is my essence, been within me all along. What is there to be afraid of? Yeah. Pure light is what we are made of. What is there to be afraid of? Yeah. Pure light is what we are are made of. We are made of pure light. 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 Pure light. Pure light. Pure light.
So we do, all of us together, on behalf of Golden Gate, accept these gifts and offerings with great gratitude. And we send them out into the world to create blessing and connection and light and awareness wherever they go. And so it is. Now, for those of you that are usually here on Sundays, you know that our information table and our welcome table are usually right at the back of the seating area. But today they're out in the lobby so that we have room for all the wonderful crafts that we've got. And you will find out there that on the welcome table for you, there is a packet that says welcome on it with a blue welcome card inside. Please fill this out, and we will give you a little book that is yours to take with you as our gift and our thank you for you being here this morning, our welcome and our invitation to you to come back often in the future. And we want to thank this morning not only everybody on our teams that is here and helped set everything up, but also everybody from the Corte Madera Community Center who made this all look so wonderful this morning. So let's give everybody a big hand. And we especially thank our practitioner, Leslie Giannetti, for the wonderful altar over here as well. December birthdays. If you have a birthday in December, would you please stand? And I understand, a little bird told me that today is actually Reverend Sarah's birthday this morning. So we're going to sing happy birthday, but also we want to especially recognize Sarah this morning. So, yay, yes. Thank you for being born. So let's sing to all the December babies. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear December and Reverend Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Yay. Be sure to give Sarah your best wishes for the coming year, as well as our other December babies. Now, I need to let you know something important, and that is that the community center, where we are right now, will not be open on Christmas Day. So there will not be a Christmas Day service. So the last Sunday of this month, you can sleep in, open presents, have your special Christmas breakfast, and not feel guilty in the least. Instead, we're going to do our holiday celebration, Yule, winter solstice, Christmas, on Friday the 23rd of December. Not here. We're going to be doing it in San Rafael at Golden Gate's office building space, where we have our offices. Downstairs, there's a fireside room. That's the room we're going to have that expression in. And we will have sign-up sheets. We don't have them for you today, but we will have sign-up sheets for the next couple weeks for those that will help set up, those that will help clean up, and those we're inviting you all to bring your specialty dessert. Now, you're welcome to bring family, friends, neighbors. Just make enough dessert, so that you can have some to share with some of the guests that are there. And we'll put them all out, and people can wander and be amazed, okay? So start thinking now what your specialty dessert is that you want to bring for the Yule celebration on the 23rd. But today is our holiday art, craft, and gift fair. So all the tables back there where Sophie is, in that table, back here where Amanda is, over here where Isabel is, and over here where Suzanne is, and I don't know, and Hillary, Who's over there? Oh, Jet. Jet and Tinman, right? They're over there. And did Hillary not do it after all? She didn't. Okay. Okay. So they're all here. Get out your dollars and your credit cards. And you're going to have a wonderful shopping experience. Plus, there are snacks you can have for free you can have a love offering too, but you can have them with coffee and then come and look at all the goodies. We are also, because this is the most critical time of year for food banks, when the weather is cold and people are hungry. So we'd like to get food to our neighbors, and rather than delivering food to them, we participate every month over at the food bank. There's a warehouse in San Rafael for the San Francisco Marin Food Bank. And generally, our volunteers are there to help pack things that are going to then go to locations that are nearer people's homes where they can come and get them. Please let Ellen Nicosia know right away if you are available to do 2 hours of this, just 2 hours on Tuesday, December 13th from noon to 2. And Ellen is right here in the second row. You've got her info up here if you need to telephone her or email her instead of talking to her this morning. But look for Ellen and let her know that you're interested so she can get you on the list, because the food bank needs to know who's coming so they can tell you what you're supposed to do. Also, this coming Thursday is the Extra Edge with Reverend Sarah. And Reverend Sarah does this on the second Thursday of the month from 8 o'clock to 9:30 on Zoom. And it's a discussion generally about how we apply spiritual principles to life, and she usually has some specific topic. I don't know, do you have one in mind yet? Still percolating. So come to the Zoom event on the second Thursday with your coffee, because it'll be perked by then. And Sarah will be ready to guide a discussion. And hang on, Sophie. And the link is on our website. It's on the calendar. So when you see classes and events, that tab, the calendar's under there, go to the specific date, click on the link, and you'll go right to the Zoom. Now, what are you waving, Sophie?
We also have the Homeward Bound donation box out today. Checks to the Homeward Bound to help the homeless situation in
So we're not doing a Homeless Bound giving tree this year, but if you'd like to contribute to Homeward Bound, Sophie does have a box back there, and you can make those checks out to Homeward Bound and put them in the box that she has it at her table. The men's group is having a pizza gathering, not for all of us, but for all of them, and it's going to be at Steve Einhouse's outdoor fire pit at this address from 3 to 5 p.m. on Saturday, December 10th. So bring a poem, bring a holiday memory. Hopefully it's a funny one or a good one, not a oh dear one, and a year-end intention. So bring those things if you feel you can. But if you have any questions, go ahead and contact Steve directly. His phone number is up there, and he would be happy to welcome you. Feel free to take photos of any of these slides that you want information. We are also raising money for the Heifer Project, Heifer International. Every year they invite congregations to participate with them, and the donations that you make, we will pool them and send the amount to Heifer and let them know what we want to have purchased. So they have, chickens and rabbits and ducks and pigs and cows and bees. They also train people how to take care of those animals. This particular woman is trained to be a veterinarian. So she helps the people in her village take good care of their animals. And what happens in these locations that are remote, where people don't have a lot, is that having the animals can provide them with more nutritious food. If they provide milk or they multiply rapidly so they produce meat, it generates income because they teach them how to go to markets with their produce and their eggs and milk and things from the animals to sell. They empower the women in rural communities, because most of these places are places where the women do all the work with the farming and the animals. And this gives them some income, which they tend to reinvest in their community. It also increases their access to renewable energy because, as you may know, animals produce poop, plenty of it. And that can be used to create biogas, which can be used in these remote locations to cook food or create warmth, rather than cutting down and burning wood. And lastly, it helps them build resilience. Those communities, when they go through difficult times, can sell animals or they can eat animals, and it helps to get them through. So Heifer is a terrific project. You can put your checks into the coffee box over here. But in the memo, write Heifer, Heifer, and make it out to Golden Gate so that we can pool it all and send it as one to Heifer International. The climate action tip of the week this week is to get your energy from renewable clean sources. And you can find out if that's happening by looking at your PG&E bill, because it will indicate if you're getting either one of these or not. If not, you can change that service that produces the energy you use to Marin Clean Energy or Deep Green. The bill will still come through PG&E. But if you want more info about how to do that, go to mcecleanenergy.org, and you can find out more about all of that. Get your questions answered. All right. The practitioner table is back in this nook today with Ann Sullivan and Leslie Giannetti. They are available for prayer right after the service. Yes, maybe before you get coffee and shop, you get a prayer. And that way your morning is really full. I mean, coffee and snacks, shopping and prayer. What could be better, right? You can also put a request in the box. If you don't have time to sit for a prayer, you can always write a request there, or you can request it on our website online under the resources tab. Also, you'll see prayer requests. All right. So now I want to invite the practitioners to be creative about where you can stand around the room to surround us all. And we take this moment to enter into a chamber of prayer with all these practitioners this morning around you. So everyone is going to pray at the same time, and just let the prayer wash over you. Don't worry about hearing individual words. Just open your heart to the prayers. And so it is. Please stand and join us now for the benediction and the closing song. As we say together, I now walk, so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness, for Spirit and all people and I are one eternally. And so it is. And here is Gary with the closing song for us this morning.
Thanks again for having me this morning. Hope to see you soon in person. That'd be awesome. 2023. I love you all. Sing this with me. In the name of love, with a heart of grace, overflow in us and decorate this place. As it is below, so it is above. May we always stand in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love. In the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love. In the name of love, 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 in the name of love. Love you. Happy holidays.